All right, hello. My name is Gareth. You're watching the Hub Online Network. We're talking about budgets, floods, and COVID-19. So let's get to it. All right, so let's talk about flooding. So yesterday morning, the village of Cache Creek issued a new evacuation alert for approximately 175 private and commercial properties along the Bonaparte River. Water levels in the river have been slow to recede, and rain last week results in a quick rise. Residents who live along the river have been advised to be ready to evacuate on short notice if the river breaches its banks. Water levels are holding so far, but a rainfall event could change that. The River Forecast Centre and Environment Canada have advised the village to monitor water levels in the river until early next week. For more information, you can contact Wendy Coomer at 250-457-0245 or email wcoomer@telus.net, and that's WCOOMBER@telus.net. So that is from yesterday. And there is also an update about this from, let me see if I can find it here. Where is it? No, I don't have it. There is an update from the Sage and Sands Mobile Home Park that says something to that effect as well. There also was a tree that fell down into the river behind the Sandman Hotel in Cache Creek. So that was a fairly large splash. It took away some of the bank as well, so hopefully everything there eases up. And the park in Cache Creek flooded out yesterday as well. Now, I personally haven't been down there to see if the water levels have receded. Everything I see on social media looks like it's still pretty wet. So if you're down there, please be careful and use your common sense when it comes to flooding. Now, right now, I don't have today's numbers. Let me bring up government. But yesterday, we have had 12 new cases and 3 new deaths due to COVID-19. And on the 20th, we had 21 new cases with 3 new deaths. So remember that COVID-19 is still a thing and that it can be spread very quickly. So please keep your physical and social distance as much as you can. Let me just double check and make sure that they don't have today's numbers out, which they do not yet. Should have been out at 3. So cases are still going up. We were down one day last week. We did have 2 as the number, but cases are going up again. So hopefully today we have some good news. And if I see it pop up while we are chatting today, I will definitely tell you guys the new numbers. Now we have some stuff from School District 74. And I have this material actually ready for you. So what you're looking at here is what the feasible schedule it is for going back to school. So it reads, Dear friends, last week Premier John Horgan and Dr. Bonnie Henry announced a plan to resume some in-class learning for students beginning June 1st. School District 74 Gold Trail invites students to return to school using the following schedules. So on Mondays, it'll be a half-day K to 12 students, which are in Group A, and half-day grades 8 to 9, which is in Group A. Tuesday, half-day for K to 5 students, Group A. Half-day grade 6 to 7 students, Group A. Half-day grade 8 and 9 students, Group B. Half-day K to 5 students, Group B. Half-day grade 6 and 7, Group B. Half-day grade 10 to 12, Group A. And on Thursday, half-day K to 5, Group B. Half-day 10 to 12, Group B. So again, it's not looking like it's going to be a schedule where students are going back every day, all day. It sounds like half days twice a week for some groups, once a week for others. So it's a pretty light return to school, but students will be with their usual classroom teachers. The school principal will let you know the schedule for your child or children, as you will see that only half of the students in a particular grade will come to school on the same day in order to reduce the number of students in classrooms at one time. If you choose to keep your children at home, the classroom teacher will continue to support your children's learning through June. And yes, that's an important thing to remember, that all of this is voluntary. So if you do not feel comfortable sending your child to school, you do not have to. So that is the main update from School District 74. Now there are some, in regards to COVID-19, there are some pretty interesting headlines from CBC today. So, for example, the government launches a benefit finder tool for emergency aid as a party spar over return to Parliament. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to come up with an app that is sort of one size fits all for people, so people out of work, students, and seniors. So you can get this tool or app and you can find out what you need to do in order to find yourself the proper benefits that affect you. But there is a lot of controversy over that, as the Conservative government is, or not government, the Conservative Party, or as the opposition, are trying to get Parliament back into the House at a limited number of people, whereas the Liberals are trying to not do that for physical distancing. I have seen some of the stuff about what they're doing in Parliament, and it looks pretty sparse. There's maybe 4 or 5 people from each group, and I'm not sure if the Green Party is involved, but there are about 4 or 5 people from each group that are there debating things. But the Conservatives are looking to have more people go and have a larger debate about certain things. And I'm sure that this app is one of the things that they would want to debate. Other headlines include COVID-19 pushes Canadian retail sales to their biggest ever plunge in March. So I believe it was a 40% drop in March, but I'm not 100% sure about that number, but that's what I think I remember reading. Ottawa looks to endorse one coronavirus contact tracing app for the whole nation. So this is an interesting one. So much like the tool for figuring out your benefit plan, what they're trying to do is make an app. So if you have COVID-19, you have to register that you have it, and then everybody else around you can see that there is somebody in the area that has it, so people can keep their distance or leave the area. The conversation about this is about people's privacy and right to privacy. So that is the debate that is going on over that particular app. It is a thing that they used in South Korea, which seems to be working. And I believe that they're also using it in China. But what do you think? Should that be something that comes over to Canada? And you can let me know at hon@ashcrofthub.com. And also, if you're sitting at home and you want to give me a call, you can call 778-694-4662, and we will get you talking on the phone. Now, so that's the headlines from CBC. Now let's talk about what our local members of Parliament and the Legislative Assembly are doing via Twitter. So Jackie Taggart is not so much tweeting things as she is retweeting things. So she is sharing a lot of stories about flooding in Merritt. Non-BC residents with existing reservations will be... So this is an interesting story. British Columbians will have the right, or not the right, but will have the option to have first dibs on camping throughout this season. And people from places like Alberta will be asked to cancel their reservations. So any outdoor events in British Columbia are going to be promoted to be taken over by people in British Columbia only, which is a interesting turn of events. So they're trying to limit the amount of people coming in from other provinces, and they also have still kept the border to the United States closed. So the less people in one province, I guess, the better. So that is what Jackie Taggart is sharing on her Twitter feed. And Brad Viss, our Member of Parliament, is sharing a news story. So he says, John Iverson has posted a news story saying it's time to cancel Trudeau's COVID-19 morning show and get back to Parliament. So I'm just going to read a brief little bit about this. So again, this is an article from the National Post written by John Iveson. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. So the latest snapshot of Canadian public opinion suggests that Trudeau is having a good pandemic. Even after the Liberals were re-elected last fall, more people disapproved of his government and him personally than approved. But since the onset of COVID-19, that evaluation has inverted. 58% of Canadians now approve of the government and 48% of Trudeau, versus 24% who disapprove of the Liberals and 31% of Trudeau, according to Abacus data. It should not be a surprise to anyone that the Liberals have an 8-point lead on the Conservatives in popular support. The amazing thing is that the gap is not wider. So that is just the start of a pretty interesting article that this gentleman has wrote. So if you want to check that out, you can go on to Brad Viss's Twitter page. You can find it there. It's the last thing he tweeted about. You can check out this story there. So moving on, we've already talked about School District 74. So we got some positive stuff here. We have a notice from the Hub. It says, we are excited to hear the news from the province last week that gyms and community centers who comply with safety protocols can reopen. This week and next week, we are working hard to prepare for a June 1st reopening. During this time, we are assessing COVID-19 risks, creating policies and protocols in alignment with the provincial health officer and WCB, and implementing all of these to ensure that you can return to your activities at the Ashcroft Hub. We have missed you and are looking forward to seeing you very soon. So Hub services and activities will look and feel a little different due to our current pandemic reality. More details about your favorite services and activities will be provided as soon as we have them. So I actually just spoke with Vicki Trill, the executive director of the Hub, and she has worked on a 30-page document about how the Hub is planning on reopening, what the cleaning situation is going to look like, how often do we have to clean as staff here, and that sort of thing. So she's putting that in, and looking at like a June 1st opening with a limited amount of people and limited times in the gym and that sort of thing. But it's COVID-19 and that stuff is moderately expected. But stay tuned for more information about that. And from the Ashcroft Auxiliary Thrift Store, they say, hey everyone, we wanted to give you a little update about potentially reopening our store in conjunction with our governing body, the BCAHA, the provincial government, as well as local government, and most importantly, our volunteer members. We are hoping to reopen sometime in June. Many things have to happen before we can even come close to opening, but we are working hard behind the scenes to make sure that we can open. We are as safe as we can be for you, our wonderful customers, as well as our amazing volunteers. So they're looking at reduced store hours, shopping time limits, and reduced customers in the store at a time, as well as hand sanitizer station installation, which are just a few items that they need to have a reopen plan. So please continue to follow the Auxiliary Thrift Store Facebook page for more information. They're asking that you take care, stay safe, and thank you for your continued patience and support. They miss you very much. Here it is. So this is the update from the Sage and Sands Mobile Home Park. So there is more flooding in Cache Creek. So the statement from Sage and Sands is, hi everyone, here's an update on our river. The snowpack is gone from the Bonaparte Plateau. The rain forecast is favorable for us. The alert is in place to allow the village to do whatever work needs doing. Quite flooded at the Cache Creek Park. Some undermining happened through town. Today is supposed to be the peak. Our dike is still standing strong. Can't help the wet feet though. Soon it will all dry out. So again, that is from the Sage and Sands Mobile Home Park. And thank you to them. They have done a great job setting up sandbags and keeping people off the dike and that sort of thing. So they're being pretty safe about everything. Now let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about the unfortunate happenings of the snowbird plane that went down last weekend. But this is some good news in that. So the Secwepemc Child and Family Services drumming group, elders and other drummers came to Royal Inland Hospital Thursday night to pay tribute to injured snowbird pilot Captain Richard McDougall. The pilot watched from the sidelines with his family as two elders opened with a prayer, and the drumming circle performed 3 songs, including an honor song to the pilot and a song thanking frontline workers, healthcare workers. Captain McDougall spoke to the drummers afterwards, saying the outpouring of love and support is helping with his healing. So that is awesome. Thank you to the Secwepemc, where are we here? Child and Family Services drumming group. That's an awesome thing to see, and you can actually check out on the Interior Health Facebook page, you can check out the video and listen in on that drumming circle. So, last night, Cache Creek. So, Cache Creek's budget meeting. The Cache Creek Council had a budget meeting last night. The reason that this happened so abruptly was ultimately a time crunch. So the village of the village office had originally wanted to do this on June 1st. So we were approached last week to do a live stream about the budget, Cache Creek budget on June 1st. And then on Tuesday, I was sending them an email about the details about how that'll work. And they got back to me saying that they have to do it Thursday. They didn't realize that there was a time limit, and they had to get it in this week. So last night we had the budget meeting, and we had about 13 people watching live throughout the event. And some of the big takeaways from the meeting is that there will be more of a meeting for public input at an undetermined time in the future. So Mayor Tellerico said that unfortunately they have to do this way. So they did 3 readings of the proposed budget that they had to put into the provincial government. But at a later date, they will come back and revisit the budget with more input from the public. Annette Pittman spoke up about how the way the current budget is laid out does not show line by line what money will be spent on what. So that was very interesting, and you can check out the agenda on the Cache Creek Village website. But it more talks about the revenues that are coming in and going out, which balance, and does not show like how much money they're going to spend on advertising, how much money they're going to spend on the pool, how much money. It's not broken down like that. So Annette Pittman spoke up about why it's not and how it should be. The water. So then we went on and talked about the CFO started doing a presentation, and she was saying that the water, sewer, and garbage budgets all balance. But one thing that the CFO was concerned about is the lack of reserves. So she referenced the Landfill Legacy Fund and mentioned that they have dipped into that for certain things, but it is not a suitable thing for actional revenues. So there's money put aside from the Landfill Legacy Fund that they are borrowing or taking from, but they should be having actual revenues for that instead of taking that money. But we'll learn more about that in a second. So a major concern is a large amount of uncollected taxes from 2019, which in 2019 alone is in arrears of around $50,000, which throws several projects out of sync. The lack of paid taxes is a major concern for the future. So I'm not sure if there was money missing from 2018 or 2017. This is just what they're saying for 2019. I did an interview with Mayor Tellerico about a month and a half ago, almost 2 months ago now, and the number was a little bit more than that when he brought this up. But the lack of paid taxes is a major concern for the future. This year, the council decided not to charge additional taxes due to COVID-19. And I will say that this was not spoken about in any public meeting. One thing that is mildly concerning is that a lot of things are being talked about behind closed doors or after the camera is off, and this is one of those things. The CFO spoke about grants that are available, but those monies are for capital projects only, which would cover new equipment for the fire hall or firefighters, the community hall, the airport fence that was burnt down, to replace the East Trans Canada Highway bridge, etc. The CFO would like to see more reserves, but as long as the village doesn't collect as much revenue, they will not be able to save as much money. So as I said before, they had done all 3 readings in one night. And all 3 readings were passed, except that Annette Pittman did show opposition, citing that there was a little bit of lack of transparency as to exactly dollar amounts that were going to be spent on what. So there were then several questions from the public via comments on the live stream, which included questions about the pool and about when there would be a public meeting where the public would be heard. And when asked about if there is hope for the Cache Creek pool, the answer was yes, there is. When asked if there was money in the budget to maintain the pool while it is not being used, the answer was yes. There was also a question posed about how much money was left in the legacy fund. The mayor assured that they would look into that number and send it to that person specifically. And the meeting started at 7 p.m. and ended at 7:30. There were a couple other questions. We had about 3 people really interacting with the councillors. And you can go and check out that video from last night and see who those people were. So moving on, Hungry Herbie's is home to the Monster Burger and proud of it. And they ask that remember that their outside seating area is open daily from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. Come enjoy a delicious, physically distanced meal at Hungry Herbie's in Cache Creek. Unity Cafe and Lounge is reopening. So here's an update about reopening. So it will no doubt be different eat-in experience at Unity Cafe come the second week in June, so June 9th, as we create new sanitizing protocols and changes to our seating floor plan. It's been interesting with so little space to begin with, but feel that we can manage. Our customers and our community safety is important, and we will rise to the challenge. Are very excited about our new outdoor patio. We've been making plans and creating a spacious but relaxed place to hang out for those sunny days ahead and warm Ashcroft evenings. We are just waiting for the okay from the province to have liquor outside, which there was another update from Unity saying that liquor sales have been approved. And plans are coming together nicely for some outdoor music shows for June and July. Announcements soon, stay tuned. It will be fabulous to see your masked or unmasked faces back in Unity for lunch and a few drinks. New menu items are in the works as well. So that is from Unity. According to a social media post, the park will reopen. Oh wait, where am I here? Sorry. So after a 2-month closure with nearly crippled it financially, the BC Wildlife Park in Kamloops is ready to emerge from its hibernation. According to a social media post, the park will reopen to the public on June 1st. The facility was closed on March 23rd due to COVID-19 pandemic-related restrictions. As of June 1st, the park will be open daily from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., and visitors will be asked to observe guidelines around physical distancing. So that is that. Another thing that we have going on here at the Hub Online Network, though, is on Monday next week on the 27th at 7 p.m., we'll be having a live stream with our Member of Parliament, Brad Viss. He is taking questions, but we ask that those questions be given to us by Tuesday afternoon at the latest. And again, we'll be going live Wednesday. So if you want to get your questions in, you can email us at hon@ashcrofthub.com. Please do so. It'd be awesome to have as many questions as possible for our local Member of Parliament. And this ranges, of course, from Mission to 70 Mile, I want to say. But Mission Matsqui Fraser Canyon is his riding. So please check that out and follow us there. And please like, share, and subscribe. That's all I really got for you guys today. It's a bit of a shorter episode. But we will have more news for you guys on Monday at 3. Some great things in the works at the Hub Online Network. So be sure to check us out then. And we will see you guys Monday. Have a safe weekend. And yeah, thanks for watching.